Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So we are continuing with the Maulana Muhammad Ali translation of the family of Imran, Allah Imran. And from among you there should be a party who invite to good and enjoin the right and forbid the wrong, and these are they who are successful, and be not like those who became divided and disagreed after clear arguments had come to them, and for them is a grievous chastisement on the day when faces turn white and faces turn black. Then as to those whose faces are blackened, did you disbelieve after your belief? So taste the chastisement because you disbelieved. You know, the darkened countenance, the lightened countenance is nothing to do with skin color. You know, some people nowadays are trying to put that, but that's not the word. What the words imply. And as to those whose faces are white, they shall be in Allah's mercy, therein they shall abide. These are the messages of Allah, which we recite to thee with truth, and Allah desires no injustice to creatures. And to Allah belongs whatever is in the heavens and whatever is in the earth, and to Allah are all affairs returned. You are the best nation raised up for mankind. You enjoin good and forbid evil, and you believe in Allah. And if the people of the book had believed, it would have been better for them. Some of them are believers, and most of them are transgressors. And they will not harm you save a slight hurt, and if they fight you, they will turn their backs to you, then they will not be helped. Abasement will be their lot whenever they are found, except under a covenant with the law and a covenant with mankind, and they shall incur the wrath of Allah, and humiliation will be made to cling to them. And this is because they disbelieved in the messages of Allah and killed the prophets unjustly, and this is because they disobeyed and exceeded the limits. They are not all alike. Of the people of the book, there is an upright party who recite Allah's messages in the night time, and they adore, and they believe in Allah on the last day, and they enjoin good and forbid evil, and vie one with the other in good deeds, and those are among the righteous, and whatever good they do, they will not be denied it, and Allah knows those who keep their duty, and those who disbelieve, neither their wealth nor their children will avail them aught against Allah. And these are the companions of the fire, therein they abide. The likeness of that which they spend in the life of this world is as the likeness of the wind, in which is intense cold. It smites the harvest of a people who are unjust to themselves and destroys it, and Allah wronged them not, but they wronged themselves. O you who believe, take not for intimate friends others than your own people, and spare no pains to cause you loss. They love that which distresses you. Vehement hatred has already appeared from out of their mouths, and that which their hearts conceal is greater still. Indeed, we have made the messages clear to you. If you understand, lo, you are not they who will love them, while they love you not, and you believe in the book and the whole of it. And when they meet you, they say, we believe, and when they are alone, they bite fingertips in rage against you. Say, die in your rage. Surely Allah is knower of what is in the hearts. If good befalls you, it grieves them, and if an evil afflicts you, they rejoice at it. And if you are patient and keep your duty, their struggle will not injure you in any way. Surely Allah encompasses what they do. And when thou didst go forth in the early morning from thy family to assign to the believers their positions for battle, and Allah is hearing, knowing, when two parties from among you thought of showing cowardice, and Allah was guardian of them both, and in Allah should the believers trust, and Allah certainly helped you at Badr when, the full moon battle. When you were weak, so keep your duty to Allah that you may give thanks. When thou didst say to the believers, does it not suffice you that your Lord should help you with 3,000 angels sent down? Yea, if ye are steadfast and keep your duty, and they come upon you in a headlong manner, your Lord will assist you with 5,000 of havoc-making angels. And Allah made it only as a good news for you, and that your hearts might be at ease thereby, and help comes only from Allah, the Mighty, the Wise, that He may cut off a part of those who disbelieve or obeys them, so that they should return in failure. Thou hast no concern in the matter, whether He turns to them or chastises them. Surely they are wrongdoers, and to Allah belongs whatever's in the heavens and whatever's in the earth. He forgives whom He pleases, and chastises whom He pleases, and Allah is forgiving, merciful. O you who believe, devour not usury, doubling and redoubling, and keep your duty to Allah, that you may be successful, and guard yourselves against the fire which has been prepared for the disbelievers. And obey Allah and the Messenger, that you may be shown mercy, and hasten to forgiveness from your Lord, and a garden as wide as the heavens and the earth. It is prepared for those who keep their duty, and those who spend in ease as well as in adversity, and those who restrain anger and pardon mankind. And, the gender language is referring to all of humanity, the he, who, other things, refers to the males and the females. And Allah loves the doers of good, and Allah loves those who perfect their good doing, and those who, when they commit an indecency or wrong their souls, remember Allah and ask forgiveness for their sins, and who forgives sins but Allah, and they persist not knowingly in what they do. Their reward is protection from their Lord, and gardens wherein flow rivers to abide in them, and excellent is the reward of the workers. Indeed, there have been examples before you, so travel in the earth and see what was the end of the deniers. And this is a clear statement for mankind, and a guidance and an admonition to those who would keep their duty, and be not weak-hearted nor grieve, and you will have the upper hand if you are believers. If a wound has afflicted you, and a wound like it has also afflicted the people, and we bring these days to mankind by turns, that Allah may know those who believe and take witnesses from among you, and Allah loves not the wrongdoing, and that He may purge those who believe and deprive the disbelievers of blessings. Do you think that you will enter the garden while Allah has not yet known those from among you who strive hard nor known the steadfast? And surely you desired death before you met it, so indeed you have seen it now while you look. And Muhammad is but a messenger. Messengers have already passed away before him. And then if he dies or is killed, will you not turn back upon your heels? And he who turns back on his heels will do no harm at all to Allah, and Allah will reward the grateful. And see, just like the rest of Al-Qur'an, in this first verse that mentions Muhammad by name refutes any sense of fanaticism. Yes, we believe in Muhammad, but it's the inspiration and the revelation that came through him, not the vehicle. We don't worship Muhammad. And no soul can die but with the law's permission. The term is fixed, and whoever desires the reward of this world, we give him of it, and whoever desires the reward of the hereafter, we give him of it, and we shall reward the grateful. How many a prophet has fought with whom were many worshippers of the Lord, so they did not lose heart on account of that which befell them in Allah's way, nor did they weaken, nor did they abase themselves, and Allah loves the steadfast, and their cry was only that they said, Our Lord, grant us protection from our sins and our extravagance in our affair, and make firm our feet, and grant us victory over the disbelieving people. So Allah gave them the reward of the world, and a good reward of the hereafter, and Allah loves the doers of good, and Allah loves those of the character trait of perfecting goodness. O you who believe, if you obey those who disbelieve, they will make you turn back upon your heels, so you will turn back losers. Nay, Allah is your patron, and He is the best of the helpers. We will cast terror into the hearts of those who disbelieve, because they set up with a law that for which He has sent down no authority, and their abode is in the fire, and evil is the abode of the wrongdoers. And Allah certainly made good His promise to you when you slew them by His permission, until you became weak-hearted and disputed about the affair, and disobeyed after He had shown you that which you loved. Of you were some who desired this world, and of you were some who desired the hereafter. Then He turned you away from them that He might try you, and He has indeed pardoned you, and Allah is gracious to the believers. And you might want to see Surah 38, Ayat 32, with verse 51 of Surah 3. When you went away far and paid no heed to anyone, and the messenger was calling you in your rear, so he gave you grief for first grief, that you might not grieve at what escaped you, nor what befell you, and Allah is aware of what you do. Then grief after grief He sent down security on you, slumber overcoming a party of you, while another party, whom their own souls had rendered anxious, and they entertained about Allah thoughts of ignorance quite unjustly, and they said, Have we any hand in the affair? Say, the affair is wholly of Allah, and they hide within their souls that which they would not reveal to thee. And they said, How had we any hand in the affair? We would not have been slain here. Say, had you remained in your houses, those for whom the slaughter was ordained would have gone forth to the places where they would be slain, and that Allah might test what was in your breast, and that He might purge what was in your hearts. And Allah is knower of what is in the breast. Those of you who turned back on the day when the two armies met, only the devil sought to cause them to make a slip on account of some deeds they had done, and certainly Allah has pardoned them. Surely Allah is forgiving, forbearing. O you who believe, be not like those who disbelieve, and say of their brethren when they travel in the earth or engage in fighting, had they been with us, they would not have died or been slain, and that Allah may make it to be a regret in their hearts. And Allah gives life and causes death, and Allah is seer of what ye do. And if you are slain Allah's way, or you die, surely Allah's protection and mercy are better than what they amass. And if you die or are slain, to Allah you are gathered. And thus it is by Allah's mercy that thou art gentle to them. And hadst thou been rough, hard-hearted, they would certainly have dispersed from around thee. So pardon them, and ask permission for them, and consult them in matters. But when thou hast determined, put thy trust in Allah. Surely Allah loves those who put their trust in Him. And if Allah helps you, there is none that can overcome you, and if He forsakes you, who is there that can help you after Him? And in Allah should the believers put their trust, and it is not for a prophet to act dishonestly, and whosoever acts dishonestly, he will bring his dishonesty on the day of resurrection, and then shall every soul be paid back fully what it has earned, and they will not be wronged. It is then he who follows the pleasure of Allah, like him who incurs Allah's displeasure, and his abode is hell, and it is an evil destination. There are grades with Allah, and Allah is seer of what they do. Certainly Allah has conferred a favor on the believers when He raised among them a messenger from among themselves, reciting to them His messages, and purifying them, and teaching them the book and the wisdom, although before that they were surely in manifest error. What when a misfortune befell you, and you had inflicted twice as much, you say, whence is this? Say, it is from yourselves. Surely Allah is possessor of power over all things, and that which befell you on the day when the two armies met was by Allah's permission, that He might know the believers, and that He might know the hypocrites. And it was said to them, come fight in Allah's way, or defend yourselves. And they said, if we knew fighting, we would have followed you. And they were on that day nearer to disbelief than to belief. They say with their mouths what is not in their hearts, and Allah best knows what they conceal. And those who said of their brethren, whilst they held back, had they obeyed us, they would not have been killed. Say, avert death from yourselves if you are truthful, and think not of those who are killed in Allah's way as dead. Nay, they are alive, being provided sustenance from their Lord, rejoicing in what Allah has given them out of His grace, and they rejoice for the sake of those who behind them have not yet joined them, that they have no fear, nor shall they grieve, and they rejoice for Allah's favor and grace, and that Allah wastes not the reward of the believers. God has foreknowledge, but God has to see us act. God has to see the results of our influence. That is why the Day of Judgment, because we got to know that the judgment is just, and God actually witnessing these things go to pass, rather than just foreknowledge. It's for Allah's favor and His grace, and Allah wastes not the reward of the believers. Those who respond unto the call of Allah and the messenger after the misfortune had befallen them, for such among them who do good and keep their duty is a great reward. And those to whom men said, surely people have gathered against you, so fear them. But this increased their faith, and they said, Allah is sufficient for us, and He is an excellent guardian. So they returned with favor from Allah and grace. No evil touched them, and they followed the pleasure of Allah, and Allah is the Lord of mighty grace. It is the devil who only frightens his friends, but fear them not, and fear me if you are believers, and let not those who grieve thee, who run into disbelief, and let not those grieve thee who run into disbelief, and let not those grieve thee who run to disbelief precipitately. Surely they can do no harm to Allah. Allah intends not to assign them any portion in the hereafter, and for them is a grievous chastisement. Precipitately, yeah. And let not those grieve thee who run into disbelief precipitately. Surely they can do no harm to Allah, and Allah intends not to assign them any portion in the hereafter, and for them is grievous chastisement. Those who buy disbelief at the price of faith can do no harm to Allah, and for them is a painful chastisement. And let not those who disbelieve think that our granting them respite is good for themselves. We grant them respite only that they may add to their sins, and for them is an humiliating chastisement. Allah will not leave the believers in the condition in which you are until He separates the evil from the good, nor is Allah going to make you acquainted with the unseen, but Allah chooses of His messengers whom He pleases, so believe in Allah and His messengers, and if you believe and keep your duty, you will have a great reward.